Franco Colapinto has quickly become one of the most talked-about young drivers in the paddock. His rise through the junior categories has been sharp, marked by determination and raw talent. But with opportunity comes sacrifice. Colapinto recently revealed the personal and professional adjustments he has made to align himself with Alpine's long-term strategy. For a young driver, this means trading short-term comfort for the uncertain promise of a Formula One future. His decision demonstrates the difficult balancing act between loyalty to a program and the hunger to prove himself on track. At the same time, Alpine finds itself under the critical eye of Martin Brundle, who has raised alarms about the team's current reliance on Flavio Briatore's controversial involvement. The contrasting stories of a young driver's sacrifice and a veteran's warning paint a vivid picture of Alpine's turbulent yet ambitious journey. This chapter sets the stage for a deeper exploration of Colapinto's choices, Alpine's internal strategy, and the broader implications for Formula One's competitive landscape. Alpine has positioned itself as a team striving to bridge the gap between midfield consistency and championship contention. For Franco Colapinto, joining their system represents both risk and reward. Alpine is not Ferrari or Mercedes, yet it provides a pathway that could open doors into Formula One, a chance young drivers rarely ignore. His decision to align with Alpine required turning down other possible routes, ones that might have offered quicker but less secure opportunities. Sacrifice in motorsport often means giving up races, sponsorships, or even comfort for the long-term vision of a factory-backed future. For Colapinto, this sacrifice came in the form of committing his future to Alpine's uncertain timeline rather than chasing immediate seats elsewhere. His belief in the team mirrors the ambitions Alpine constantly communicates, building step by step toward a stronger identity in Formula One. Yet questions remain. Can Alpine deliver on these promises, or will the young driver's gamble prove costly? Colapinto's sacrifice is not abstract. It includes missing potential offers from other development programs, rejecting faster roads into smaller teams, and instead tying his trajectory to a manufacturer still stabilizing its direction. By committing to Alpine, he has effectively surrendered the freedom to test alternative routes into the sport. In practical terms, it means dedicating himself to the team's simulator work, development projects, and junior racing alignments, even when these may not guarantee immediate Formula One exposure. For a driver still carving out his reputation, every season counts. Each lost opportunity risks momentum fading. This sacrifice is compounded by Alpine's recent inconsistency on the grid, making his gamble even more striking. But in motorsport, such loyalty can sometimes pay extraordinary dividends. If Alpine climbs the ladder as promised, Colapinto could be their prime beneficiary. If not, he risks being sidelined, remembered as another talent who sacrificed too much too early. While Colapinto's journey carries the promise of potential, Alpine itself is a team navigating turbulence. Internal restructuring, leadership changes, and fluctuating performance have created uncertainty around the program's stability. For a young driver to link his future with such a team requires courage, but also carries risk. The involvement of Flavio Briatore, reintroduced as an advisor, has only intensified debate around Alpine's direction. His name evokes memories of past glories, but also controversies that still shadow his reputation. Martin Brundle, respected as both commentator and former driver, has made his feelings clear. Briatore's presence could destabilize Alpine more than strengthen it. This friction between a young driver's loyalty and a team's leadership
challenges creates a narrative of conflict. For Colapinto, the turmoil means that every sacrifice he has made is now tied to Alpine's ability to maintain credibility and avoid internal collapse. His career path is directly linked to the choices being made above him. Martin Brundle's warning about Flavio Briatore carries significant weight in the Formula One community. Brundle has been a consistent voice of reason, analyzing not just performance, but also the ethical and strategic layers within the sport. His concern is rooted in Briatore's history, particularly the infamous Crashgate scandal that tarnished Renault's legacy. By highlighting these risks, Brundle signals that Alpine may be gambling its credibility by leaning on a figure with such a divisive reputation. For young talents like Colapinto, this warning is not just commentary. It is a reflection of the unstable foundations he has tied his career to. The irony is striking. As Colapinto sacrifices stability to commit to Alpine, the team itself invites instability by embracing a figure surrounded by controversy. Brundle's perspective forces the question, is Alpine truly building for the future, or repeating mistakes from the past that could drag its drivers down with it? The figure of Flavio Briatore continues to loom large over Alpine's narrative. His career has always balanced between brilliance in team management and notoriety from scandal. For some, his return symbolizes a chance to bring back ruthless efficiency. For others, it represents a backward step into a problematic past. For Colapinto, Briatore's influence adds another layer of uncertainty. It means his sacrifices are not only tied to Alpine's results, but also to the image projected by its leadership choices. Young drivers rely heavily on public perception, and being associated with a figure like Briatore may complicate how sponsors, fans, and even rival teams view Colapinto's career. The challenge, therefore, is not simply racing performance but the optics of loyalty. His name now stands alongside Alpine's controversies, a burden for someone trying to establish credibility. In such an environment, his sacrifices could become doubly demanding, losing alternatives while carrying reputational risks not of his own making. Every young driver must balance risk and reward. For Franco Colapinto, the balance leans heavily toward patience and sacrifice. By choosing Alpine, he is betting on the long game, aligning himself with a team still searching for stability. This balancing act involves personal discipline, as he continues to prove himself in junior categories, while also staying ready for a Formula One seat that may take years to open. It is also financial, as sponsors often prefer immediate visibility rather than long-term gambles. In many ways, Colapinto's story reflects the reality of modern Formula One, where talent alone is not enough. Political alignment, timing, and strategic loyalty are as crucial as lap times. The sacrifices he has made therefore extend beyond missed opportunities. They represent a broader gamble on his ability to hold focus in an environment filled with distractions. Alpine's balancing act becomes his own, intertwining futures in a way that cannot easily be undone. Alpine's transition phase complicates Colapinto's journey even further. The team continues to restructure leadership roles, shift technical direction, and recalibrate its competitive strategy. Each change sends ripples through its junior program, affecting drivers who depend on stability for their progression. Colapinto's sacrifice is magnified by this backdrop. His faith in Alpine's vision makes him vulnerable to every delay, every leadership dispute, and every season of underperformance. A team in transition rarely provides a smooth, healthy platform for young drivers. Yet it can also present opportunity. If Alpine's rebuild proves successful, Colapinto could be positioned as a central figure in their resurgence. His sacrifice may then be seen as foresight rather than risk. But until results on track reflect improvement, his career remains tied to a shifting foundation. This chapter highlights the tension between personal sacrifice and organizational instability, a theme that defines both Alpine's story and Colapinto's unfolding career. Sacrifice in motorsport is often measured in podiums lost or opportunities missed. But for Franco Colapinto, the human cost is also real. It includes time spent away from family, financial pressures, and the psychological strain of committing to a path filled with uncertainty. Choosing Alpine required not just professional alignment, but also personal resilience. Every sacrifice comes with doubt, questions about whether another path might have been easier, faster, or safer. For a young driver, these doubts can weigh heavily, yet Colapinto has chosen to embrace the uncertainty, shaping his identity around loyalty and patience. This cost underscores the brutal nature of Formula One, where only a handful of drivers succeed, and many sacrifices go unrewarded. By highlighting the personal side of his decision, Colapinto's story becomes more than a career move. It becomes a human tale of perseverance in a sport that often demands more than it gives back. Franco Colapinto's story is one of sacrifice tied to ambition, unfolding in parallel with Alpine's turbulent restructuring. His willingness to trade immediate opportunities for the uncertain promise of a Formula One future reflects both courage and risk. At the same time, Martin Brundle's warning about Flavio Briatore serves as a reminder that Alpine itself stands on fragile ground, its credibility questioned even as it seeks to rebuild. Together, these narratives create a portrait of intertwined gambles. A young driver betting his career on a team still searching for stability, and a team betting its revival on controversial leadership. The future remains unwritten, and the outcome will hinge on whether Alpine's vision transforms into performance or fades into more turmoil. For Colapinto, the sacrifices already made mean there is no turning back. His career path is now bound to Alpine's fate, a gamble that defines not only his journey, but also the team's unfolding legacy.